Sparrow again in the Warren Occult Museum. Just want to say, hey, thanks for all you guys out there who've been subscribing to the channel, who've been liking my videos on Ed and Lorraine Warren. It's really appreciated. And just keep up the good work, and I'll try to keep up the good work as well. What I'd like to talk about today, though, is paranormal investigating. How do you do it? How do you become a paranormal investigator? Well, you know, like Ed used to say, it comes with a lot of training, comes with a lot of dedication, a lot of faith. I look on the internet and I see the many websites that people claim to be paranormal researchers, ghost hunters, demonologists even. And Ed, in fact, was only one of 7 recognized demonologists back in 1969. And 6 of those 7 were clergy. Ed was the only layman. So it takes a lot of work to be a demonologist. And demonology means the study of devils and demons. The study of. So what I want to say, though, is to be a good investigator, you have to be serious. You have to have a good heart. You have to want to help others. You know, you just can't go into a house hoping to see ghosts flitting around, knockings and poundings, and taking a photograph of a spirit and then leaving the house and leaving the family still tormented. That's not an investigator. That's a showman. That's somebody who wants to showboat or just self-gratification. That's not what you want to do. Ed taught me a long time ago about dedication, about diligence, about being serious about the work. I'm a pretty carefree guy. I like to tell jokes, and I like to think of myself as witty, but when I walk into a home, I suddenly become kind of serious because Ed used to do the same thing, and Lorraine. And when they walked in, it was all business because they knew the people who called them in needed help. It wasn't some lighthearted thing. Okay, where's your ghost? Let's take a photo of it. Because sometimes these ghosts can be inhuman. They can be demonic, very negative spirits. So, of course, there are earthbound spirits too. People who have once lived, passed on from this earthly plane, but did not want to go on towards the light or towards God. They wanted to remain earthbound. So when someone refers to a spirit as an earthbound entity, it means that they're a human spirit who remained earthbound for various reasons. Sometimes they want to tell someone what happened to them, you know, how they died. Like, remember the movie Ghost with Patrick Swayze? Good movie. And it showed Patrick trying to communicate with Molly, telling her what happened to him, how he was murdered. So that's what an earthbound spirit is, someone who has passed on but has not passed on to the new realm. Then there are inhuman spirits, demonic entities, ones that never walked the earth in human form. And if you saw the movie The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2, you'll hear Ed Warren even say that, never walked the earth in human form. And Ed used to really say that, you know. A demon or a devil, how powerful are they? Well, I'm here to tell you this, that they're more powerful than any human. More powerful than any human being. But they're not more powerful than Almighty God, our Creator. So when you walk into a home that's purportedly haunted, you go in with faith, with your total belief that God will protect you from these entities. And what we do when we go into a house is we envision ourselves in a glowing, very white, bright halo of light all around our body, from head to toe, all around. We call that a Christ light, or God's light of protection. And what it does, it actually protects the human aura. Every living thing has an aura. All humans have an aura, human aura. Animals have an aura. Trees, plants, anything that's alive that God created has an aura about it. And it can be seen through Kirlian photography, if you want to look that up, Kirlian photography, where, in fact, they used to do tests. And you'd see the aura around. They take a picture of a maple leaf, and you'd see an aura around the leaf. And then they would cut the leaf in half, take another picture of the half leaf, And when the film was developed under Kirlian photography, you could still see the entire aura of the entire maple leaf. So that's what we have. We have an aura all around us. And the devil, or a demon, tries to get through that aura. It's our suit of armor around us. It's like a bulletproof vest for a police officer. This stops any bad things from coming in. But the problem arises because some folks have a chink or a weak spot in their aura, and they wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know it. You can be a very religious person, but still have a chink in your aura. We don't know why. And that's where the devil would go, towards the weakness. The devil likes to attack on one's weakest level. So to protect that aura, when we walk into a haunted location or a haunted graveyard or any structure, we envision ourselves in that light to protect our aura from penetration. So how does that chink ever get there? Well, it could be from dysfunctionality in your life. It could be from heavy drug or alcohol use. It could be from lack of your belief in God. I don't know for sure, but I know that some people do have that weakness where the demonic entity can enter. If you're mentally weak, if you have a mental deficiency of some sort, the devil can attack. Now, I know a lot of you out there right now are, thinking, what are you talking about, the devil attacking me? It's true, the devil can attack. There's one thing I'd like to mention before I go on, too, is that I took down the comment section on YouTube. I disabled it. At first, I had it on for everyone to comment. And I was getting a lot of nice comments, thanks. But then I got some very negative comments, too. And I'm from the belief that if you don't have something good to say about somebody, don't say it. And it's not that I don't have a thick skin. I kind of do have a thick skin, but they were saying stuff about Ed and Lorraine too, besides me. And I didn't like it. And seeing it as my YouTube channel, I think it's my right to disable comments and not have anybody comment. Not taking away from anything from the people who really want to communicate with me and say positive things, but I don't need negativity in my life, and neither do you. Negativity draws negativity. Positivity draws positivity. It's a known fact. If you ever, when you're in high school, when you say an argument with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and that night before school, all you could do is think about them and like how you don't want to see them tomorrow and get in an argument, how you're so mad at them. I don't want to see Joey. I don't want to see Janie. I just don't want to see him. I'm going to avoid him tomorrow. And that's all you can think about. You have trouble going to sleep. And then in the morning, first thing, you walk into school and you walk around the corner heading towards homeroom and you bump into who? Jane or Joey. You run into that same person. Negativity draws negativity to you. That thought process. So why am I even bringing that up besides the negative comments? Well, I'm bringing it up because if you think negative thoughts, you'll bring negative things to your life. And especially in the demonic realm and the spirit realm. If you have a noise that happens in your house, or you see a dark shadow, and all you can do is think about that negative experience, and gee, am I going to see a ghost? Is something going to hurt me? And you keep dwelling and dwelling on it, you're drawing it to you. The devil and the demons love that. They draw off your energy, your emotional energy that you're spewing out. So try not to think and dwell on the negative, especially for you ghost hunters out there. Don't dwell on the negative. There's a lot of things you need to know to be a psychic investigator, to be a psychic researcher. I've been doing it for almost 40 years, maybe, almost 40, 35. It's from 1985, approximately, with Ed and with Lorraine. Ed taught me everything, and Lorraine taught me everything I know about this paranormal, besides reading books. People ask me all the time, how do you do it? How do you become a demonologist? How do you become a paranormal researcher? Well, how you do it? On-the-job training, faith. You have to have faith, and reading a lot of books, talking to a lot of professional people who have done it for years and years, even talking to the clergy about theology and about religion, about spirituality, about prayer. Prayer is very powerful. You know, I've heard instances of people praying in groups for other people who are sick and that person somehow miraculously recovered. It's possible. But of course, we don't know God's plan, so sometimes you pray and it doesn't work out the way you want to. That doesn't mean you should stop praying. God has a master plan. So how do you become an investigator? Prayer, knowing how to pray, knowing when something is demonic or inhuman versus human. A human spirit cannot throw you against a wall. A human spirit cannot slash you or gouge you. A human spirit can't lift up a refrigerator and toss it. But a demonic entity that's in a house can do these things, could put a slash mark on you, could even punch you in the face, could throw you down a flight of stairs, could lift up heavy objects. That's a clue. That's a big clue. Foul odors emanating from an area. Foul, putrid odors. Growling sounds, guttural sounds. Those are the kind of things you look for. Things where, and depression of the people in the house, deep depression, nightmares, thoughts that aren't their own, things such as that. Human spirits don't do that. Demonic entities do. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Now, how do you get rid of a human spirit that's in a house? Well, a lot of times it's just prayer. Might be a blessing of the house by an ordained member of the clergy. It doesn't have to be Catholic like I am. Ed was Catholic and Lorraine was Catholic. We're Catholics, but they relied on other religions too. The religion was a family that they were called to help. Could be Protestant, could be Methodist, Baptist, Jewish, Muslim, any kind of religion that teaches love of God and fellow man is a good religion as far as we're concerned. The only religion that we don't follow and believe in is Satanism. We don't believe in that. You can read a lot about Satanism, ladies and gentlemen, and you've got a lot of conflicting things. If you talk to an actual Satanist, they'll never ever tell you how they really feel. If you say to them, do you sacrifice animals? Do you sacrifice humans? They'll never admit it. They'll deny it. They'll say, no, we don't do that. We don't sacrifice animals or humans. We just want to enrich our lives. We want to do things that will help us and make us prosperous in this world. That's not what they really do. What they really do is sacrifice animals, sacrifice humans. In fact, they'll impregnate members of the group so they could harvest the baby when the baby is born and do terrible things to that child before killing it. Don't believe a Satanist. Don't join a Satanist club or cult. Please. Go the way of God. Don't go the way of the devil. Excuse me. Behind me you can see Annabelle, one of the most dangerous objects in this museum. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the one and only Annabelle. When you go on the internet and look up Annabelle, or go to these ghost clubs or conventions and look at them online, some will say they have the Annabelle doll. They don't. I have the Annabelle doll. I was the beneficiary of the doll from Ed and Lorraine. I was the beneficiary. Me and Judy, my wife, were beneficiaries of the property, the museum, and everything that's in the museum. No one else owns it, so just keep that in mind also. Now, I'm going to continue to make videos as long as I can, as much as I can, to try to help the serious student of paranormal research. And I know there's a lot of you out there. And you know what? There might be some people out there that know some things that I don't know. I don't know everything. I know what Ed taught me, and I know what I read, but there's always learning achievement that you could do. You can make more, you can learn more things by listening to more people, by reading more. And we don't have all the answers. We have a lot of them, but you know, it's like the mysteries of the universe, Ed used to say. When I used to say, Ed, you know, why is this or why is that? He'd say, well, you know, we don't know all the answers. Like I used to say to Ed, how come God will take a 2-year-old child and then there's a 90-year-old guy who's a homeless person who is a bad guy, he, you know, hurts people, or just a criminal, you know, not a homeless person per se, but a criminal, that doesn't care about other people. He lives to be 90 like Charles Manson. How come he lived so long? And Ed would say, God has a plan, but we don't know what it is. And it's part of the mysteries of the world and of the universe that we'll probably know these answers when we pass on to the other realm. Now, what realm are we going to? We could be going to a good place, I believe, a place called heaven. Or if you're not such a great person, I mean, really not a good person, you might be going to another place called hell. Is hell fire and brimstone? I don't know. I sure hope it's really not that bad, but I think what it really is a separation from God, separation from your loved ones. Imagine being married to someone for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. You love that person, but you were a bad person kind of in life. You didn't even believe in God. You never did come along and say, yeah, I believe in God. And you were kind of bad. You were selfish. You cheated people. And somehow you don't end up in heaven. Wouldn't that be terrible? But your wife does, or your best friend does, or your mom and dad does, but you don't. Even though you know that that's where they are and you want to go there, you can't go there. For eternity, that would be terrible. So what I'm here to tell you also is try to be the best person that you can be. I try. That's why I took those negative comments off and disabled it, because I don't want to have to hear that. I don't want to hear negative thought. I don't want negative thought to penetrate my mind and me dwell on it. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a lesson, but kind of a exercise in how to be a paranormal investigator. I really do appreciate all the viewers, all the views. You people are fantastic out there that comment, that like it. You know, I notice every once in a while I'll put a video up and I'll get 300 likes and 1 dislike. And I keep thinking it's one person, you know. And that's a bad thing to think that way. I don't know if it's one person or if it's just random people who don't like the videos. I can't take that to heart. There's always someone who does. You can't please everybody, as Abe Lincoln said. So for that, this is Tony Sparrow. I'm from the Warren Occult Museum in Connecticut. Until next time, stay safe.